Hi, my name is Todd Binder. I'm the lead developer here at AllClients, and wanted to show you a little behind the scenes on how we work and how we get new features done and improve existing features. And in this case, I want to show you how we evolved the what used to be called the web form designer, and it's now called the landing page designer. Um, the first thing we did is probably about 5, 6 years ago. We came up with landing pages, and as we slowly added more features over time, the user interface became more and more cluttered and confusing. It still worked. All the features were there. It was a really easy way for non-technical people to make um, lead capturing web forms for their websites and get those clients straight into the AllClients CRM and then perform a bunch of actions automatically based on how you configured it. So it took a very technical thing and made it very user friendly, but over the years we added feature here, add a feature there, and all of a sudden it starts getting confusing. So we kind of took a step back and decided this page needed a little uh, refresh, revamp, and we basically didn't change one feature, but made the whole thing seem much easier and much user friendly, more beautiful, more fun to play with, and tweak your web forms and see how they work. Landing pages. Um, so the first thing I did, let me show you the old one first. Here's the page you got to first, and well, this was a good idea 6 years ago. It doesn't kind of fit into today's internet. The preview web forms used to be smaller. Now they wanted to be full page, so they don't really fit in this preview window. You had to scroll left and right and up and down to see them. Um, we added more fields, so this box had to start scrolling. Um, we added CAPTCHAs for, we had a few customers that were having a problem with bots filling out their forms. So we added that, and this was the best place to put it. Everything just started getting in the way. So then you went on, you hit next, and you went to step 2. And here's all the actions that can be performed when you fill out the form. A category gets assigned, the person's added to the database. You can add a note, you can assign flags, what to do when there's a duplicate handled, who do you want to notify by email, and then these autoresponder drip campaigns that are assigned, and to-do plans that are assigned. So you could have a whole series of emails that go out over the next month, 3 months, year, 2 years, 3 years. To-do plans such as call them back, send a letter, along with sending an email. And what do you want to do if they already exist? You want to cancel all the existing stuff. So really cool, powerful stuff. This screen didn't change too much. And then, but you had to hit next to get to step 3. And this is where, what do you do after the form's filled out? There's a thank you page. You can fill out and build a thank you page, or you could send them to a different website. And for some reason, make this a double opt-in form fit good on this page. Over time, we added it here, and I cannot come up with the reason why it was on this page. So anyway, one of those things that needed to reorganize. The other thing that made it cumbersome was you always had to go back. You had to go back to the previous page. If you wanted to go to step 2, you went back. If you wanted to change something on step 1, you went back. Then you wanted to go back and change the thank you page. You had to go step 2 and then step 3. And there was no quick way to get to the preview except by closing it, going back to the list. So we wanted to make that streamlined. So we started by ripping out all the different elements of things that can be changed. So again, we wanted to not add any features at this time. We just wanted to reorganize everything. So use this tool called Balsamiq. It's BALSAMIQ. It's a really cool, fast way to build mockups. So if I want to add a button, you just type button and a button appears, and then you can easily say click me. So you don't worry about styling. You're just worrying about elements and functions. So it instead of going into something like Photoshop where you start worrying about every pixel, in here you're just kind of laying out the elements on the screen of what you want to produce, and then Then we share them as a team over here and decide what to change before we've been invested in really big Photoshop projects, which can take hours and hours and days, or programming, which can take days and weeks. So this is a really cool tool. I recommend it if you're doing any kind of layout or any kind of mock-ups. So I broke out all the different things you could edit and threw them kind of on one page, and then started to think about how could we fit this all on one page. We really can't. So we came up with breaking these out into tabbed areas. So this is what we came up with as a mock-up. So a few hours in, we've got this idea of, let's break it out. Preview, settings, fields, header, footer, style, actions, and thank you. So then by building the mock-up, you can start playing with it and seeing how it works and seeing how it feels. So we've got every single type of element now has its own place to live, and you can easily jump back and forth. So if you want to change the style but jump back to the preview, you can do it in any order you please. So if you want to work on the thank you page first and then come back to the header, you can do that. So you can edit the fields here. You can work on the header. You get the big editor to work with. And you'll see this has a save button. We actually, in the final design, we got rid of all the save, OK, cancel, and back buttons, next and back buttons. Basically, anytime you click on a new tab, what you've done on the page saves. So it saves a lot of clicks and a lot of work there. So then there's the footer editor tab, there's the style editor, and you'll see it's basically the same as the old one, but later down the road we made the picker from a drop-down list into previews. So you can see the preview of the style you're applying to the web form. The actions tab is basically the same, little bit of style update, and the thank you page is basically the same. We took a couple elements out and moved them over to the settings tab. We made the double opt-in form on settings, so all the kind of general settings, and I think on the final design we ended up moving this stuff over here. It made more sense, and maybe breaking these out a little bit. So we'll go through the final design in a minute. But so then we play with that. So that took, instead of doing that in programming and Photoshop and playing with pixels and HTML and digging super deep, we built it here in Balsamiq. So then we go and start doing programming after that's reviewed, and we start to come up with what it actually looks like. So what we did is we removed the preview. There used to be a preview link here, and we got rid of that because every time you go and edit a landing page, you are automatically in a preview. So here's what you saw in the mock-up, almost exactly the same. We renamed this from fields to form because this goes back to the reason we renamed it from web forms to landing pages. A form is an element of a landing page, so it's just a little bit of a technical marketing distinction. So here's the preview. It's a live preview. Unlike the old version, it's a huge screen. You can also pop it into its own window, so you get an even bigger screen. But this also works now. So that was kind of a complaint of the last version, is it wasn't a working version. So this is a working version of the form. We've also added some really beautiful styles here. They were pretty plain before. So here's settings. Here's all those things we were talking about. There's the advanced settings, the properties. Here's the form. This is the fields that you can choose from. Also, if you have any custom fields, they show up here. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6 in my brilliant test database are my sample custom fields. So this is where you choose, I want email required and I want company hidden. So let's say we want to add a phone number and make that required. Watch what happens when we go back to preview. There's phone number. I didn't have to hit save or anything. So That makes it real fast to see your changes in real time. Then if you want to add a header, you just type, this is my header. We can make it bold, we can make it bigger, we can make it green, and let's center it. And we could go straight back to the preview, and my ugly header is there. It's very Christmassy. Then we can also have a footer that says copyright 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Center that. Go back to the preview. And so I've built my landing page. Then you can, the Actions tab is what you want it to do. We want it to add the contact to my database, and then we want to assign these flags. We want it to do all these things after the fact, and we want it to notify me by email. Then the one feature we did add, I guess you could say we did add one feature, is this style picker. So it used to just be a drop-down menu. Now you get a preview of each one. So remember, before we were red. So if I want to switch over to this other predefined style, and I want to use blue, shiny modern blue, I select it, I confirm, and it updates the CSS. If you're familiar with style sheets and CSS, you can control just about any element of the page and build your own styles to fit your existing site or to tweak it however you like. So we've gone from the red preview over to magical blue. Or the default new style is this one with the yellow button, shiny modern silver. And there it is. So just makes it really easy to go through and tweak how you want your web form to work. It's easy as that. Then there's the thank you page, a little bit reorganized here. We default it now to this thank you, we received your information, in case you haven't entered anything yet. And that is it. So there are a couple more steps in the middle. We go through a lot of iterations back and forth of testing and QA and feeling it, make sure it feels right, and tweaks back and forth, moving things, aligning things up, fixing typos or rewording things to make them more clear. But you know, there's probably 5 or 6 back and forths between testing and development. And showing you some screenshots now of what those look like. And then we finalize it. And we create the help videos and the tutorials. We launch them out, notify everybody by Facebook and email and newsletters. And then we take your feedback, and if it gets confusing again in a couple of years, we will rewrite it again, and that's how we roll. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this peek behind the scenes. If you made it this far into the video, congratulations. I'll give you your little geek badge. Got pretty deep here. But anyway, hope you have a great day. And let me know if you have any questions or feedback on this process or what you want in the next version of the landing page designer. All right, take care. Bye-bye.